Hello everybody. Well, it's Tuesday and we're back again with Jordi Stringfellow of Jordi & Co. Events, showing us some beautiful tablescapes and interiors to help us celebrate the holidays. Jordi, what are you going to show us today?
Hanukkah.
I almost guessed
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Were the three menorahs enough of a hint? It's Hanukkah.
Yes.
But this is a family Hanukkah. So there's 8 nights of Hanukkah. Hanukkah can become quite an extravaganza. And most people, I think, want at least one night when they can just be home with their children and enjoy a family night. So we set this up as the central place for the 8 nights of Hanukkah for the religious elements, for the lighting of the candles, and if mom and dad want a little wine, whether this kind or this kind, and the gelt that's usually distributed to the kids. We have the gifts represented. But we did it in the family room so that they can turn around and do what the kids really want to do, and that's eat latkes.
Well, I see you also have here, while we're over here, and what I might point out here, that we're on a piano, which is a gorgeous idea of incorporating another table, another platform for your items. And you have some dreidels here.
Yes. So what I do when I work with my clients, whether we're doing a really large event or whether we're doing something in their home, is try to work with things that really reflect them and who they are. These happen to be collections from some of my friends who celebrate Hanukkah. And so the little mini dreidels in the different colors of blue that she's collected over time. The large crystal dreidel, actually, I gave her. And so, yes, I really do believe strongly in bringing in everyone's personal collection first. I can rent anything they need, but putting a personal spin on it and making it really feel like home, that's the key. So these 3 menorahs all come from personal collections as well.
Nice. And I see you use salt here to make a
kosher salt. It's kosher salt.
Very nice.
Because I want a little wintry element. And what's easier than sugar and salt to look snowy? You don't have to go buy fake snow. You can just use what's in your pantry. So I love using sugar and salt this time of year. I absolutely do.
Beautiful.
And you can put a lot of these things together if you need to, in a hurry, on a shoestring. The tips and tricks are put things up on risers. Everything flat on a table is incredibly boring.
It is boring,
So underneath here, there's a book or there's a hat box or whatever you want to use.
Use whatever you have.
That's exactly right. Use what you have. This happens to be a vase that belonged to my mother that's in the exact right shade of blue, and some supermarket posies. I wasn't that happy with them, so I ran out into the garden and added some elements of my own. But when you layer it all together and you look, if somebody smiles, then the job is done.
And I love that this is a family event, probably with kids, and yet it's still a very beautiful celebration as well. So we don't have, just because it's kids doesn't mean you have to not make it a lovely, very visually appealing.
You don't have to dumb it down for the kids. And I think that they appreciate it. I think they really remember what you presented to them when they were little. And so we set up the fun part for the kids over here, which is family latke night. So this is latkes, as comfy as it gets, not at a table, sitting where they want to sit, doing what they want to do, which is opening their gift for the night, having a little something to drink, whatever it happens to be. And you were asking me earlier about how easy or difficult is this to put together on the fly. And the question just is, do you know the elements of the colors that speak Hanukkah? In this case, it's blues, whites, silvers. Boom.
You see what you have. Start with what you have first.
Start with what you have first, and then you can get the personalized elements. My friend had these beautiful embroidered napkins that are particularly lovely, but they're not so precious that the children can't use them too. I happen to have put some very beautiful collectible fish forks and knives there that are from my personal collection. And because usually with latkes there's a little bit of smoked salmon or something like that, it's nice to teach the kids that once upon a time there was a fish fork and a fish knife, and there was a reason that you had them. So I thought, well, let's pull them out. With the ivory handle, they look really pretty.
And you were also mentioning that if you don't have something, you don't necessarily have to go out and buy. You could borrow from someone.
Absolutely, and I did that. I did that for today's presentation. And here, though, we have an element I think everybody ought to have. You want the kids to put away their personal devices, look up from their screens, and interact with you.
Yeah.
Right? And so make them play some games you knew as a child. So we got these enormous, because they wouldn't be interested if they were the old versions, right?
Looking, yes.
These are enormous pickup sticks and enormous playing cards.
That's
and
a great idea.
in the end, they're going to end up doing, wait till they play 52 pickup with these. It won't be so pretty, but we'll make them
You won't get a real game out of it, but it'll be fun doing it.
We'll make them pick them up. Yeah.
Oh, and one last thing, Jordi, you were mentioning that there are some tricks that we can think about and that professionals use that we lay people might not normally know. What were some of the things that you had considered that you knew?
Good question.
Yeah.
So this lacquered tray was actually made for this tabletop.
Okay.
So I can change out the look of it anytime I want by changing what the top looks like. Okay. But this lacquer itself then became a unifying element for me. How do I make the family room feel like it's still really a celebration? Well, I put on my actual professional event planner hat and said, I need that gold lacquer somewhere else. And so I put it on the piano in the form of those gold lacquer trays.
So really linking the different spaces, different tablescapes is a way of unifying the entire celebration.
Yeah. So it looks like one unified event, even if it's in your family room.
Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Jordi.
My pleasure.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.